Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into crypto art, essentially the intersection of digital art and blockchain.
Right, so it's basically art that's secured and verified on a blockchain, correct?
Exactly. It's like um, digital art is transformed into something unique by minting it as an NFT, a non fungible token, which then holds all this authentication and metadata on the blockchain.
So the NFT provides a digital certificate of authenticity for the art, ensuring that it's one of a kind, even though the image might be widely accessible online.
Yep, you got it. The token contains a unique ID along with metadata that verifies the authenticity, creator details, and even the transaction history.
And these tokens are significantly tied to monetary value, right? Their value is not just in the artwork, but in scarcity and demand.
Yeah, absolutely. The credibility of the creator and rarity, along with collector market demand, drives the value. It's pretty much like traditional art evaluation, but with a digital twist.
Right. It's fascinating how they've managed to recreate the traditional art market dynamics in the digital space, especially with the whole scarcity factor upheld by blockchain.
Exactly. And speaking of dynamics, crypto art has really taken center stage in marketplaces. The minting process, that's where the art is certified and linked to its NFT via blockchain, involving transaction or gas fees, which can sometimes be as low as $1 or go all the way up to $900.
Hmm. So the cost of minting can fluctuate because of network congestion and gas price variations, right?
Right. And that means sometimes the fees can even be a bit unpredictable, which is something that potential creators and buyers need to watch out for.
Yes, that unpredictability could be a challenge. But once minted, the NFT not only marks the artwork's uniqueness, but also carries with it all the copyright and provenance details.
Exactly. It's essentially a digital ledger entry for the art piece, proving that it's the authentic version and has a valid ownership history.
Mm, that also means if someone tries to duplicate the image by simply saving it, they'd be missing that metadata and proof, right?
Yes, exactly. While the image file might be copied, the NFT itself is irreplicable because it contains that unique marker on the blockchain.
But couldn't an unscrupulous actor still attempt to fraudulently mint a copy?
Well, that's a point. There's always a risk. And that's why the onus is on the collectors and platforms to verify the metadata on public blockchains before making the
Right.
transaction.
So, proper due diligence is key, much like in any valuable collectible market.
Exactly, absolutely. And then we dive into the realm of the metaverse. Crypto art isn't just hanging on digital walls, it's integrated into fully immersive virtual worlds.
Yeah, the metaverse is another fascinating component. It allows these NFTs to become digital representations of objects, clothing, even virtual lands that you can interact with in these 3D spaces.
Yep, and it's like the original vision of a fully interactive virtual world, sort of reminiscent of Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash.
Yeah, exactly. It all started with that vision. And now we see big tech players exploring how to incorporate NFT based art into virtual social and gaming ecosystems.
Absolutely. It's changing how we interact with art, turning them into interactive assets within virtual realities. Imagine owning a digital piece that you can actually showcase in your own virtual home.
That's pretty cool. Although I do wonder if the mass adoption of metaverse based art might dilute the value of these NFTs if too many are created too easily.
That's a valid concern. While the technology holds incredible potential, the market is still maturing, and oversaturation can definitely be a pitfall. Developers and artists have to strike a careful balance between accessibility and exclusivity.
And speaking of balance, there's also the issue of copyright infringement. Crypto artists need to be very mindful of not violating existing copyrights and, ensure that their NFTs reflect original work.
Exactly. Copyright law still reigns supreme. Even though the NFT certifies authenticity, if an artist copies someone else's original work, the legal issues remain.
It's kind of like owning an original Mona Lisa, but if someone prints a replica and tries to pass it off, well, the blockchain doesn't automatically solve that legal dilemma.
Right? It just provides a tamper proof record of ownership and creation. And that record is crucial for collectors and investors.
That brings up the risk reward aspect. The NFT market can be a goldmine for collectors, but it's also ripe for scams and bad actors trying to exploit the system.
Exactly. Investors need to really verify the metadata and be cautious about jumping into a deal just because something looks popular.
Right? It's like not just buying art, it's buying into an entire ecosystem with its own set of challenges and rewards.
Absolutely. And that ecosystem is still evolving. We're seeing involvement from prominent artists, musicians, sports figures, even celebrities, which is pushing crypto art into mainstream awareness.
Right? And this attention, while driving value, also means that the market could face regulatory changes or shifts as more people get involved.
Exactly. The future of crypto art and NFTs is tied closely to broader trends in technology, digital ownership norms, and even art consumption habits.
And it's not just the art market, right? The underlying tech has potentials in virtual asset transactions, digital collectibles, and the broader metaverse economy.
Yep, it's like a digital renaissance, art evolving alongside technology. But it's important to note that despite the hype, not every NFT will reap massive rewards. The resale value really depends on market sentiment and genuine collector interest.
That's true. I mean, we've seen cases where even authenticated and popular collections have had wildly fluctuating resale values.
Precisely. It's all a matter of investor sentiment and trust in the ecosystem. And that trust is built on verifiable data stored on the blockchain.
Yep. So, summing up, crypto art marries digital creativity with blockchain technology to authenticate and commoditize digital artworks, with a side of challenges and high risks, but also immense opportunities in the metaverse and beyond.
Exactly. It's an exciting, if a bit volatile frontier in art and technology. The potential is vast. Just imagine a future where every piece of our digital life has a verifiable, unique token
Right.
backing it.
Well, here's to hoping that as the tech and market develop, things will stabilize and offer both authenticity and true value to creators and collectors alike.
Absolutely. And that's our deep dive into the fascinating, complex world of crypto art.
Thanks for the insightful chat. It really makes you think about how technology is reshaping even the most traditional forms of art.